the consideration of regret. But sod it, I'm gonna go. Go, gadget legs. Ah! What is in the hand? I'm so confused as what's it want these 4 cards. Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel with another deck for you today. This one, the Way of Power deck, which this deck was actually a concept that was discussed in the Discord, whereby the idea was to use Out the Way with Akshan's Font of Power. So if you go to his images, Out the Way to use with Font of Power to see whether or not this would mean that for the rest of the game, all of the widget cards that were hit will be cost 1 less. Because obviously, Out the Way, when it works with loaded dice then means that this is a continuous thing as long as you've played Out the Way, which gives it as being a permanent buff. Every single time you hit the Nexus, you are nabbing a card. So we would see whether or not it worked with Font of Power. I had so many different ways of trying to build this deck. This is how I ended it up, and this actually ended up being the strongest deck of widget of building. Because obviously, like the original plan was to play Taric, because Taric obviously makes people invincible. The problem with Taric is that, like, number one, he's got to drop on 4, so it's a little bit later, and his spell is a 5 cost, which is a really good spell, but like I said, he does get to make people invincible, but it takes a little bit of doing. He has to stay alive. Minimorph being in the game makes it quite hard for him to sustain, sometimes to get there, even though you have a number of different buff stuff, which is helping Akshan's landmark and that. Diane actually fit better in a weird way, which, let's face it, is she even a champion? No one's heard of her in a long time. But Diane actually works out very nicely in this deck for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have played Out the Way, then she gets given her challenger, and quick attackers. I mean, quick attack actually stays anyway, but she gets given her challenger as a continuous thing. And then what this is Pale Cascade. Getting more of them for more draw is such a devastating thing, especially when the cards are costing less. That's what the idea was here, was when the cards cost less to be able to do this. You'll see whether or not the combination works in the videos, but this is the deck. It was mostly geared towards Taric to begin with, but it ended up working out quite nicely. Absolver, these buffs being permanent are devastating, as well as obviously all the Power Cascade buffs being devastating, but it's more the Overwhelm which comes off of the Absolver is amazing. You could put a little bit more buffs in there, I didn't put in Shape Stone, but Shape Stone is another one of those buffs whereby you could actually put it in there and it would be a permanent buff. I put this in here mostly so I had some Nightfall that was working with Diana, so how we could help level her up a little bit more, because most of the time she was just leveling up through the Power Cascades and then drawing herself and then Power Cascading. But really funny deck nonetheless, and I would recommend giving this a go, because actually we ended up winning most of our games before even getting to the combo, because of the buffs that were in here and the Overwhelm situations. So we ended up being, admittedly, we weren't playing against proper meta decks, we were playing in normals, but it was still a lot of fun to play, so I'd recommend giving this deck a go. Obviously, shameless plug to Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. All the games you're going to be seeing were streamed live over on Twitch, so you want to come catch the action live for yourself, please feel free to. Links are all down below, so Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you want to come catch the action live. There's also the Discord link down below, whereby you can talk about things. You can throw deck suggestions out here. You don't even have to throw a deck code, you can just throw deck suggestions like this, and I'll do my best to try and make things work. I don't do every single thing that gets thrown on there, but sometimes I see something and go, I really want to try and see whether or not this can work, or if we can make it work. So please feel free to, as well as on that Discord, there is the tournament that we're going to be running on the 2nd and 3rd. Me and Jankie from the Voice of the Old Ones podcast are going to be running a tournament on the 2nd and 3rd of October, the Bandle Bonanza. So if you're on the EU Shard and want to get involved with a chance to win some of the money in the £150 prize pool, please feel free to. As well as if you enjoy yourself at any point during this video, want to consider hitting that subscribe button. But anyway, let's get in and see how this deck did in a couple of matches. Part of me kind of wants to keep this. Actually, no, I'm going to keep which. I'm going to keep Power Cascade. Part of me kind of wants to keep Switch's Siphoning Strike, but what I'm after is trying to find Akshan quite quickly. Gift Giver. Would you like a Gift Giver? Have that immediate attack forward. I'm not going to play Diana immediately, because I'm not really going to get the benefit off of doing that. But this is what I mean. Now that I say that I was gonna go in for this for draw, now I'm gonna get my point. of showing that she can get like a potentially so much draw, even though like obviously we've only got we haven't got another copy of her right now, but there is always the chance that like if we use like Riot Calling or something, like if we get more copies of her, there are things we can do. Okay. This at least means I can block you. I would have loved to have thrown this down, but that would have thrown out all my mana. I would have left me with no other decisions. So that's actually a good move for Nami, actually. Like when you think about it, Flash of Brilliance can really like it's a good move for both champions. That actually makes a lot of sense. I haven't actually thought about putting Nami in a P&Z list, but the more that I'm looking at this, it does make a lot of sense. Saw it.
Cold and unforgiving as moonlight.
Just gonna throw her out. Should have potentially just saved the mana to go into this. Considering the fact that they definitely run probably Mystic Shot and cards along those lines, definitely should have probably just kept her back. Thermo being respectable. Okay.
Listen.
Might end up regretting the decisions that were made here today. Okay. If they throw down Heimer next turn, or even if they throw down, like, so they're gonna meet, like, they've already leveled Nami basically. Like, Nami levels herself to a point, right? At this, because only like one more mana away.
Take from the rich, give to me.
Not ideal. Not an ideal situation. I might even have to use Riot of Calling just like on my mana.
On this one.
I could hush this. I'll leave it and hope that they get Promising Future. You never know, they might get Promising Future. Okay. Maybe I'll put a little bit more of her, because a lot of this deck is aimed around Taric being the second champion, so maybe because we've removed Taric from being the second champion and put Diana in, I will actually make some changes. Of course. I mean, I could. I feel like with what I've got in the hand right now, what I need, I don't mind doing that. Because I do need draw. I do need to find answers.
There they go.
Okay. Essential Merciless Hunter on top of Puffcat Peddler. But I love what my opponent has done. Okay.
Make a meal of them.
We've got the second Merciless Hunter if we need it. Could even throw down like Mentor of the Stones to. What have they got here? They got 3 damage going into my core. I mean, I can save both of them. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the moves I was hoping to do here, especially knowing that I really could have used those buffs for Akshan's thing, but I will do this. Owie!
Celestial power.
Okay. I mean, either way, they can still remove this, right? But I'll go with this.
What has she got there?
It was the only way that I could still maintain bald presence, but I have got big problems. Nami's already leveled, and I've not got the moves I need. Especially considering the fact that I've not managed to get Akshan's thing onto the board. Okay. Considering Gift Giver. Not Jerry! Okay.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
Yeah, no, I'm considering Riot Calling just to, like, not even, yeah. Destroy a mana gem. My opponent has probably got, like, so many different spells. And I would love to throw Akshan down. I would love to throw the man down.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
But I know that they've most likely got a spell. Most likely got a spell which is going to screw this up. I'm just thinking to myself, like, do I wait? The Heimer's on the board. I really want to throw you down, but I know that you're probably gonna die.
We love it when they run.
So it's that worst case scenario when you know in your heart of hearts that there's potentially removal spells in that hand that would kill Akshan. Like, you really want to play him, but you also know at the same time he's most likely going to die. Okay. I'll do this.
No kills, no entry.
I'll live with the consequences. Don't worry about it. It'll be absolutely fine, everyone. Throw down that damage, and then what we'll do is we'll go, hopefully, into Akshan very, very soon. Oh, I really could have used that, actually. Vagabond would have been amazing, because it would have meant I could have potentially leveled up Akshan without having to get Akshan on the board. Okay. They have got 2 mana. They've got 2 mana, which does leave them in Mystic Shot. Right. Actually, no, they've got 3 mana because they played her luckily off it. So that still gives them get excited. I could consider a Hush. So
I don't need rules.
I don't need rules! Come on. Just live. Live, buddy boo. Live, my friend. Okay, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. He says. Okay.
This one's a fighter.
Oh, do I?
Quit struggling. You spurn my gift.
Okay.
Protect. Hunt down.
I'll keep the mana for like to go into next turn, but potentially if they throw down a Mystic Shot to have Absolver.
Have a mushroom.
I'm free! Okay. This is like that weird situation where you're just trying to make sure that you from Absolution. Cannot run from Absolution. Okay. Predict and draw. I could. I mean, this is the card I want.
Righteously reclaiming.
This is the card I want. But I've also got like the ability to use both of these. They can't use Hush.
Villains beware.
Villains beware! It's the fact that I know that I can throw Overwhelm. Okay. I can do it twice. It's just whether or not the idea of actually throwing... It's you know when like, you just think to yourself, like, the spells they could have. Sod it.
We laugh at death.
So, we laugh at death. We laugh at death! Ha ha! Death! You know what, you just think that maybe I should have thrown... Oh, shout out to my opponent! I should have maybe thrown down Hush on top of Nami, but shout out to my opponent. We didn't get to get the combo down. We actually had all the pieces for the combo, but we didn't actually get to finish the combo, which is a bit of a shame, but still. I kind of want to keep one Merciless Hunter to maybe... like. I really shouldn't keep this. Like, out of every card, I really should not keep this in my hand. This is like late game strategy, because technically it doesn't really come into use until we throw down what's her face. Like, it doesn't really come into use until we start getting those power cascades, but more so, it doesn't really come into use until Akshan comes online. I actually should have made some changes. I should have made more changes for more Nightfall cards.
My fist.
Okay. Yeah, more Nightfall cards probably would have been a nice plan. I've got terrible, terrible images of Lee kicking me in the face.
Water changes but never breaks.
We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
So... Gomez, do you do it? I've got nothing in hand which works with it right now. That's the only problem. Nothing in my hand currently works with that plan. Oh, Gomez. I could throw down go into Diana. That's another, like, that's actually a reasonable move. But you know, like, look at me. But wait. Okay. They could kill her relatively easy, because there's like Twin Discipline and cards like that that are played in the deck. So I know that I'm probably on the back foot, but I would rather go forward and tell myself they can't buff them on, and we're also on a timer, right? Because we are, until Lee levels, of course the stun comes out. The stun will come out tomorrow. Okay. Why is this deck running out the way? Right, so this deck is running out the way for one simple reason, and that is because we are trying to use it on Akshan's, if we can get Akshan out and we can level him up and get to his Warlord's Horde, we want to use it so we can use it on Font of Power, because basically Font of Power is your cards cost one less for the round, but buffs that happen off of this are continuous, so we should theoretically mean that all of our cards cost one less for the rest of the game after that fact as well. It's a stupid combo that definitely is like, you should have already won the game by the time you get to it, but I really wanted to give it a go. People were talking about it in the Discord, and so that's the reason why I really wanted to give this a go. But, okay, there's Lee. Oh, you know, like, you look at this, you just think, if only I had one more bit of mana, because if I had one more bit of mana, I could gem into Siphoning Strike. But it's because any point from now on, like the fact that they've like gone with all the mana, any point from now on, they could always have deny and ways of buffing him so that he gets the barrier on him. So this would have been the perfect time to go for it. But sadly, we are one mana out of that move. Okay. I'll save the rest of it. I mean, I could gem one. I'll leave it. Okay. We kind of want to get them out of deny range, or the ability, like, I mean, they can very easily put 2 spells to give him a barrier, right? Very easily give him 2 spells to give him a barrier. Another big part of me really wants to play this, just because it also means that Diana's, like, the buffs that come off a Power Cascade also become permanent. Okay. There are issues, big issues, big issue, please. I know that I could have grabbed Lee, and potentially actually grabbing Lee would have been the smarter move. But I really want to get rid of this. But grabbing Lee was probably the smarter move. Because but the thing is, I don't want to force too many spells out of them, because I don't actually really want them to yeah, cause too much of an issue there. So we'll do that. We'll go like this. They can barrier up on Lee, which means they can deny one of our gems, but I kind of need to go aggressively forward because I need to try and get a way through on Lee. I do have Hush in this deck, by the way. There are 2 copies of Hush in this deck, so we could find one of them, and then I feel more secure when it comes to Lee as well. But potentially recalls, like recall on Eye of the Dragon here. I don't mind Mentor of the Stone dying because it just gives me more gems to give me, so I can basically level up Akshan. So I don't mind this, which is like I don't mind Mentor of the Stone dying. If only I had all the mana. Yep. So the stun comes out. That puts a barrier on top of Lee, which means that he doesn't take any damage from this. Okay. Now I've got too many cards in my hands. So I need to make sure that I at least gem up once. Okay. Yes, so glad that you are on. I have a new deck for you, thanks to the patch. What is your deck on here for you to pitch me? Elevator pitch me the thing. Nah, Lee always survives barrier grabbing. Makes sense. Okay. Bino, what is your deck on Hit for Yoda? Because I'd love to know. Okay. How close are they on Lee? I mean, so they can very quickly. They can very quickly get Lee a barrier.
The dragon lives.
The dragon lives. I mean, they can also throw this out. There's no real reason that they can't throw out that as well. Okay. It's a bold move. It's a bold move. A bold move which can very easily be stopped in several different ways. Be it through deny, be it through recall. Deny's just gone off the table.
A child's anger has become a man's will.
Deny's just gone off the table. There is obviously, there is of course, what's his face? Oh, I can't think of your name right now. Twin Discipline. Twin Discipline is something that they can use here, but I feel like I've got to go for it because they need to have it in hand. And sorry, let's go. Twin Discipline comes. Oh, Pale Cascade. Okay, nicely done. Nicely done. I just wanted to threaten him for a little bit. Okay. Oh, there's my Hush. Excellent. Hush is actually very nice to find. Still no action. Could consider the this though, or even like the fact that I probably need to start building a board, right?
By the moon's crescent light.
By the crescent moon. Okay. We can give him more health. Makes a lot of sense.
The dragon protects.
Can I get to the point of causing him some issues? I do have a Hush. He's got 4 health.
LoR heretic.
This might end up being terrible, terrible plans. But I've got to go. I feel like this is. I've got to go for it. They can always have another Lee, right? They can always have another Lee in hand. Ah, they hushed us. They did the move back on us. And that's also the level up on Lee as well.
The dragon will.
Ah. They did the hush move back. Okay, there's no real point in me hushing because I'm not going to be able to actually kill him back. Sadly. Sadly. All my moves, Yugi, they have been counterplayed. Okay. Yep, and the kick is coming. Oh, the kick is coming. I kind of feel like I have to play like just to have like on the ball to have presence. But it's not looking good. Maybe should have considered playing this earlier on, but now I can't move for all the get out the ways that I have. Okay.
I'll take on anyone.
Face me.
So. Ooh, Yugi boy. Why are we keeping Lee out of this action?
Meet destiny.
You spurn my gift?
You know, like you look at this and just think, well, I could siphon you. That, like, what is in your hand? Like, deny? Like, what is in your hand that you can't use spell-wise? At least not even one spell to give Lee the ability to kick somebody to the core. What are you hiding from me, Yugi? What are you hiding from me?
Come, a new
Protector, shield me.
Potentially going down to this instead. But then I kind of feel like I want to be trading.
You spurn my gift?
I'm gonna, you know, like when you just look at that, you just know that you're gonna end up regretting it, because that is currently. Oh no! No! That is currently what I'm going for. It's just the consideration of regret. But sod it, I'm gonna go. Go, gadget legs. Ah! What is in the hand? I'm so confused as what these 4 cards that are not spells, that are not deny, because you would have thought they would have, maybe more Lees? Okay. It's just loads and loads of Lees! Okay. They have no spells yet. Free dens and which get a Nova Fire, and free denies and a Nova Fire. Well, apparently it wasn't. So right of forward chip for Akshan though. True, we could have gone for a right, like when we had that option earlier. We could have gone for that right of negation, but I felt like I needed to have like board blockers because they did still have a big board on me. Okay. I mean, the fact that they're just using these, they just use these gems so that they can get a dragon in. Like, okay, what? I'm so confused as to what's going on in this hand. Okay. We could use, how close do you to actually let, like, I feel like I need more Nightfall cards in this deck. Okay.
in silver light.
So much pale Cascade. I mean, that is the level up on her as well. Do I just go all in, on Diana? Because I can give her Overwhelm as well with absolute, which get. But they have used one Hush, so maybe but they would have used Hush. If they had Hush, wouldn't they have used Hush to what's his face? To give Lee a kick. I'm so confused as to what these last 2 cards in their hand are. Like the 2, like I know obviously they're drawing, but it's like these cards they had in their hand beforehand. Like what are you? Okay. So do I just want to get rid of a card that I know that I can get rid of? Sod it. I wish that I had enough mana to, I guess like there was a point where I could have given both of them overwhelm. We're gonna try and overwhelm them down. If they throw lead down, we just hush him immediately. I mean, it's just a weird way that we might be able to come back into this game, like, really stupidly. Because if they're basically going for, like, throwing everything out because they have to. We have to block here. I guess... Give myself...
Destiny. This one's a fighter.
Do I want to...
You're dead meat.
Okay. If they go for a buff on the middle one, I've got Hush. That's what I'm going to tell myself. So if they go for throwing down like Twin Discipline or something on the middle one, throw down a Hush. They let this go. They let this go. Let it go. Let it go. Do 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 do. I mean, do I just go for it like just for draw right now because I significantly need it, or do I actually go throw down the gift giver? I mean, I'm so confused right now as to what I'm doing. I don't know what life is anymore. Okay. Could consider this though. I mean, my opponent is crying. I've got double overwhelm. I mean, another Diana as well.
They say these were from the Protector.
They say these were from the Protector.
More lies.
You know, like you just think about, I maybe should have. Right. Hush is still a thing. Okay. It's fine. You live by one, or at least you think you do. So, throw this down. Where's my Akshan? Where is Akshan when you need him? Shadow mode to my opponent. I mean, how we ended up getting through that game. I still have no idea. There is no way that we should have won that. We ended up on 1 health and somehow came back. We didn't even get Akshan or level Akshan at any point during that game. There's Akshan. And we're against Braum is on the job. Braum with Nox. Oh my god. You know, I've got horrible ideas that I'm going to see. Number 1, probably Scargrounds, although you would expect to see Vladimir in that deck. But number 2, I'm expecting to see like Brothers Bond and ways of just like really getting Braum's attack up, right? Like, because let's face it, they gave Braum 1 damage. Like what in the past, they buffed Braum to have 1 damage. That immediately got nerfed. That immediately got nerfed because it was deemed overpowered to have Braum with 1 damage. So,
fight or die.
You know there's gonna be a freeze.
Villains beware.
I'll get. There's always the chance of brittle steel. Okay, no brittle steel. We're fine. It's just the knowledge of so much pain going away. The fact that they've played this really makes me think that Scargrounds is going to get involved. Like this, with like yeah, cards like this. Like if they have Scargrounds, this works like perfectly with that kind of mentality.
Make the Empire fall.
Go on, gift giver. You've totally got this.
You spurn my
Okay.
gift.
Transfusion. I can imagine seeing a transfusion. Okay. Draw is what I need. Oh, okay.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
So it kind of makes me want to wait to use Power Cascade until I use this and the buff becomes permanent, but I need to also look at this in terms of, well,
Took the bait.
took the bait. Oh, transfusion. I think transfusion is the main thing that scares me with what this deck can do. Because I'm thinking to myself, I could like gem Akshan up, go forward, but transfusion is like +2/+2, which not even if they use it on top of Trapper, not even Power Cascade would be able to get me past it. And I can't use Hush at the same point.
The world
Oh, wait.
won't save itself, you know.
The world won't save itself. This is very true, Akshan. I'll leave it. Oh, so this is basically near enough to level up on this landmark.
I served for decades, and you call on me.
I sense a pattern here.
Cool eye patch.
You
Okay.
like it? I mean, shut up and fight!
My opponent passing is very interesting. Oh, they now immediately go forward because like, I should have probably just accepted the pass. I should have accepted the pass because now I've got no mana, which means that my opponent has got no reason not to go crazy on my bumhole. Like, if they've got any moves in that hand, like they might have been trying to play around Power Cascades, they might have been trying to play around Hushes, they might have been trying to play around several different things. And so, oh, okay, no, that's good. One scoundrel at a time. We might be able to get the combo off. Obviously, it depends on whether or not they run landmark removal. That's also something to bear in mind, that my opponent can run landmark removal. Ah, double Akshan. No one expects double Akshan. I mean, it does mean that I get a grappling hook in hand, which could end up being useful. I do love the idea of using Absolver for the double buff to make sure that, like, obviously this will be a permanent +1/+1 in terms of health and +4 in damage. But I'm
What
gonna
was there
actually
is now ours.
take an Akshan. Okay. Fixing the world one scoundrel at a time! Okay. It's the knowledge that I know that I've got double Absolver. I've got double Absolver. Convince myself that that means that every little thing is going to be okay. It's probably not. But I've got to convince myself that that means that every little thing is going to be alright. Okay, transfusion. I knew that there would be transfusions in this list.
We laugh at them.
Since I'm going to be... I might as well put Overwhelm on top of him, because otherwise that's just going to be a fleeting cut. Oh, no, the freeze! I should have considered. Okay. But that has forced out a number of buffs out of them. The only plus side of that is that I did force out a number of buffs. So it's weird, I'm happy but not happy. I'm happy but simultaneously not happy at the same time. But what we can do is we can throw down promises. As long as I don't have... Don't run Scorched Earth! It's too much to ask for, they don't run Scorched Earth. Because, I mean, we can Promising Future.
What did we catch?
Okay. Promising Future still leaves me with 3 mana. I feel like he's not like... I feel like the main game strategy is doing damage to their own stuff for Scargrounds and for this guy to, like, force up the damage. So I'd rather try to do some damage and try to remove this guy later on down the line. Still leaves myself the 4 mana for this. Braum could be on the job. Braum just comes out. Braum, he's on the job! And he just comes in and destroys me. This could happen. Drone shot, nice! Brittle, what you call it, the iron pot. Okay. How you doing? Waxton, how you doing, buddy? Boo, hope that all is well with you. That looks like a very upset little alien man. Okay. It's gonna be so much damage. It's so much damage, especially with this man. But I feel my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. Okay. I have got so many other issues. But I need to do this. I need to do this. For... Okay.
This one's a fighter.
Not a chance.
Okay. I am taking a bum load of damage. And even if I stop this, it still means that I'm like taking a bum load of damage. Okay. I just need to hope that there's the, you know, they run shampoo, you know.
So
the shampoo comes down. Okay.
Scores to settle, cooks to kill. You know how it is.
You know how it is.
You can thank me later.
Okay. So, font of power. Font of power. Okay, these should now be permanent, hopefully. It depends on whether or not the coding actually has it as being permanent, right? Because I'm not seeing the little glimmer that you normally have on top of these things. So maybe they might have actually programmed it to not have the code on it to be able to be permanent for these cards to actually be going down in cost. So we might actually even find out that the plan that we're going for is actually impossible to achieve. Okay. But it's okay, I'm damn well still going to go for it. The amount of draw that I could potentially get is very nice. Okay. Gonna go like this. Because it's like I could throw down more units because I feel like units. I'm gonna need them. But at the same point, I'm also thinking that I can do this. But units might be a good shout. As much of me wants to do that move, which is a big portion of me.
Cloaked in silver light.
Let's see what we draw. Okay.
The journey is difficult. These will protect you.
Okay. So. Let's go for trying to kill this guy. Obviously, freezes. They have already proven themselves to have freezes. So yeah, they've already proven themselves to have freezes, so we know this is a thing. Okay. Still not enough. Still not enough! Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha! Buffs all around! Okay. So we just now can go with grabbing the Yeti boy down. So they don't have a freeze, because if they had a freeze, they would have used it. So I can only assume that there's no freeze, and they don't have another one of those cards, because otherwise, yet again, they would have used it to save its life. So
Night descends.
that's, from what I can tell, this should theoretically be okay. Okay. We'll go forward like this. I don't actually know whether that buff is going to stay, because normally they... Oh! Ah! You're a tricksy one, I see! Okay. Really well played there on that. But Vegeta! Tricks are for kids! Really well played. If this is going to only be for this round, I'd like... Let's get a buff in there. Let's see whether or not we keep the cost down on these, because technically that is how that should. So it doesn't actually work like that. So the buff does not work like that, which is a shame, considering the fact that what's its face works like that. The loaded dice from why is it? What I can't think of the name of it. Considering that the loaded dice works from Bilgewater, it's a bit of a shame that number one that doesn't work. But number two, it's kind of a relief because it is kind of a broken concept to try and go for that. So I can understand why it doesn't work. But at the same point, it is a bit upsetting because obviously the whole deck was built around that concept. So we learned. The main thing is we've learned. And the weird thing is this deck has still got, I mean, admittedly we're not playing against full-on meta decks, but we have learned. Okay, we immediately go for a hush here. Immediately go for a hush because I don't want to get myself down to one, especially when this deck probably runs like a maiden, like the maiden, Ember Maiden, that's the word. I definitely want to make sure that I'm not taking the damage in from that.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
Okay, we can throw down this. Throw down this. It's a shame that the combo doesn't work when technically it should do, because it makes sense with the coding and the fact that loaded dice does work, so it should work with this. But as I say, we've learned, and if anything, we have done this for science to work out that that combination does not actually work, even though in theory it should. But the comedy of actually still being able to get moves like Absolver and whatnot out of this is still funny. And yeah, it's still the deck has still worked against what we've been up against. Admittedly, it's not been meta decks, but shadow mode to my opponent. Really well played there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the match. It was good times. Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me. Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.